When you think of the word plague, what's the first thing you think of? For me, something like the Black Plague in the 1300s, which ended up marking 1/3 of Europe, or maybe a locust plague, which currently is happening in East Africa, but that's news to me because of a certain something right now. All that aside, the plague I'm talking about is quite different. Let's roll the years back to the 16th century. Absolutely fabulous times, right? Sure. Plague we're talking about is the Dancing Plague of 1518. The first place where this occurred was Strasbourg in France, which then was part of the Holy Roman Empire. The person who apparently started this whole madness was a woman named Frau Troffe, who apparently just straight up went outside and started dancing non-stop day and night, and unlike her ginger stepson, got attention, and within 4 days, 33 others had joined her, and within a month the numbers rose to roughly 400 people dancing day and night. I mean, why couldn't we have a plague that made us start a rave, rather than being stuck indoors right now? Can we trade our plague in, please? I want a refund. No one really knows why this happened, but there are multiple theories, some more believable than others, one being the local physicians. They played the dancing off as a natural disease caused as a result of quote-unquote hot blood, but the more I read this, it just sounds like a gathering of crackheads. A solution that authorities had were to continuously dance to cure the victims of their hot blood, and a stage was actually constructed and musicians were hired hoping that it helped the victims recover. But this was essentially an Uno reverse card and only attracted more dancers, many of which collapsed and even died of heart attack, stroke, and exhaustion from dancing for days straight. This one seems least credible, but is probably the most interesting one. A man named Paracelsus, a Swiss physician and alchemist who invented chemical therapy, was the first person to write about the patient zero of this plague, Frau Troffe, who also invented the term choreomania to describe the dancing illness. Paracelsus heard that Troffe's husband absolutely despised seeing her dance. He then believed that she started dancing just in spite of her husband, and he felt that unhappy housewives were the main reason of this plague. And just to reiterate how awesome the 16th century was, he thought the cure was to lock up the victims in a dark room and only be allowed bread and water, but there's no evidence that this was successful or even went ahead. Now this theory is most plausible and doesn't involve simp husbands, so this might be the one. Historian Dr. John Waller believes that dancing was a quote-unquote stress-induced psychosis on a mass level, which makes sense due to recent famines and diseases, as previously the region had suffered from starvation, smallpox, and syphilis, so it's apparent the stress was through the roof. Early September, this all died down and ended the 3-month epidemic. This wasn't the only case of it though, just the most extreme. Other cases were found in Switzerland, Germany, Holland, and even Madagascar. To add credibility to John Waller's theory, in 2011 in Leroy Junior Senior High School in upstate New York, 12 girls started twitching as if they had Tourette syndrome. Authorities later concluded it was due to mass hysteria, so I feel this kind of puts John Waller's theory above the rest. And that pretty much summarizes Dance Plague of 1518. I would have said it sounds pretty rad until, people started collapsing and dying and stuff, but I'd take a giant dance off over Corona time right now. So I hope you enjoyed. Do leave a like. And cheers lads, stay safe.